Okay, so now we're on to the real last part of this sort of, it's become kind of a survival inventory bar system. At the moment I have herbs, I have ammo, um, and now what I want to have is something that's going to cause damage over time, and I want to have something that's just kind of like an antidote which will stop that, the only thing that will stop that damage decreasing. So let's get started with that. So what I want, I've got this folder called damage, which I have my damage area set up here, which is at the moment this fireplace. You know, if I stood there, I'm going to just lose health. Um, what I want something is to do is similar to that, but it's something that will trigger once, and then whatever I do wherever I go is going to continue happening until I use this antidote. So just thinking, can I steal anything from here? Not really necessary. So I'm going to create a new blueprint in here. It's going to be just an actor again, and then this is going to be called, call it poison. Poison. There we go. So in here, it's going to be similar to this damage area, um, where, you know, when this happens, something that's going to trigger that happening. That's going to be kind of dependent on what you want to do. Um, so first of all, I know that we're going to need a box collision area, something that when we go into this area, it's going to trigger it. Sorry. Uh, so yeah, we've just got like a collision detection area here. And in the event graph, just trying to think of something. I think for argument's sake, for demonstration, we'll do it as a begin overlap. But the actual event itself for this could be anything that's triggering you to get this poison effect, if you like. We're just going to have to walk into something that's going to cause it. So on component begin overlap, we need a boolean now which is going to turn on, but that boolean needs to actually be stored in my character. So first person blueprints, first person character. You can see I've got one for pain there. This is going to be similar but different. We'll call it poison. Okay, so we've got that boolean there, which by default is of course off. So back here, we can cast to the first person character and yep, set poison to on. Pretty simple. Collision detection for end overlap. Cast to first person character. And then set poison to off. Okay, so when we begin overlapping, sets it to on. When we end, it sets it to off. Oops, just link up those targets. And there we go. So this poison area, what I might do is, because I've got this starter content, some kind of particle effect, what can we have that's going to poison me? We'll put some steam, shall we? Chuck it over there by these boxes. That'll do, something like that. So when I play, there's this steam over here. Yeah, can't really see it that well. I'll just put some sparks there as well. This is kind of a random. Obviously, you'd have more thought put into what is actually going to poison you. So then I need to go to my poison area and drop it there. Okay, might make it a little bigger. So there we go. If I walk into this random area here, it's going to trigger that to be on. What I might actually also do is get it to print a string, at least just for now, so that I can see what's happening. And the string is going to be, can I link that straight to there? think so. Let's just test that. So if I run over to my poison area, yeah, it says true, and when I leave it says false. Okay. Just realized though, I don't really want that because I don't want to leave, when I leave, to turn it off, actually. So I don't want that at all. All I want is for it to be turned on because it's going to be the antidote that turns it off. So I come over here, true, it's on, and then, yeah, nothing's going to turn it off until I have the antidote. So the antidote itself is going to be a pickup object. So I'm going to go to my pickups folder, and I'm going to import a model of some tubes that I made. Very, very simple model, which we'll put over here somewhere. Really looks out of place. Obviously, you might go into some lab and find these, but whatever. The model is, again, down to you and what you want to create. So that's fine. We've got the model itself. What we want to do now is create another. Just thinking whether I could just copy this over again. I think I will do that. So I'll duplicate the ammo box and I'll call it Antidote. Okay, but obviously we want to edit it. So let's go back to the viewport, change the model to the tubes. There we are. Compile that. And then the event graph. Again, this is going to be a bit of a repeat to what we've done before. I don't want that in the scene at the moment. So again, repeating things though is how we learn. So we're going to go to project settings and we're going to set up, hopefully you've guessed, the action mapping for using this item. So we're going to go add a new one, use item anti for antidote. What key are we going to do this time? Next to R is the T, so we'll go with the T key. Again, that's customizable to you. And we'll place one of these down in the world there. It's a bit weirdly big, so I'll just scale it down. Okay, it's hiding over here in the corner. Is that on the ground level? No. There. Okay, so what we want to do now before we edit anything there is go back to my inventory and add another one on to here. So we did a button. Something like that. And the image I've already got, I'm going to call it tubes. That'll do something like that. There you go. So I've got an icon for that from that icon page that I showed before. We can copy over a new one of these and a new one of these. Change that R to a T and make sure this button is on the right layer. Okay, great. Not going to forget this time. Anchor, anchor, anchor. Okay, so got that there. Let's head back over to the actual blueprint for the antidote. So the input is not going to be that one. It's going to be use item antidote. That's going to cast the first person character, and it's not going to look for the ammo box stuff. It is going to set the, what did I call it? I haven't set it up yet. So let's go back to the first person character because again, the poison is what's going to be the one thing that's taking damage, not the thing that's being stored. It's not the resource that's being stored. So I need a variable for that. Call it antidotes. And that won't be a boolean, that will be an integer. So it's a whole number of things. Also, this poison, that's poison on or off, isn't it? I'm probably going to need another variable soon, so let's just leave that for now. So the amount of antidotes, so that's going to set antidotes to plus 1 of the current amount of antidotes. There we are. And then it's just going to tell us how many we have on the screen by printing the string. Oops. There we are. Okay, so let's make sure that works. So I can see that on my nav or my inventory bar. Come over to the antidotes. It says press E to pick it up. Push E, and it's not letting me pick it up because, yeah, sorry, wrong action mapping. It needs to be the interact, doesn't it? Interacting with it is going to allow us to pick it up. Let's try that again. Let's pick it up. And yeah, it's given us 1. It's just not added it to the inventory. So back to my inventory. Here's our text that we need to update. Let's create a new binding for it. Cast to first person character. Get, if I can type today, player character. And then we're going to get the number of antidotes. Return. Okay. Don't know why I need to pick the gun up every time. Right, there they are. Push E, and there we go. I have 1 antidote. Great, so that's again really similar to what we've already done. What I need to do now is do something that's going to tell us, or it's going to take away damage over time, similar to that pain thing that we had, but for poison. So if we go to our first person character, we have this event tick here, which is linked to pain, which will take away health over time. So we need to do something almost the same as this, but different. I'm going to move this over into a bit more space because I need to use the same event tick. When you've got the same event for multiple things, you need to use a hyphen a mind blank. I've had an absolute mind blank, bear with me. Okay, sorry about that. It is, of course, a sequence. Okay, so obviously it will continue doing that thing, but it's also going to do another thing down here, which is going to be similar. So it's going to be a branch, and it's going to be equal to, but it's not going to be the pain one this time. It's going to be the poison. So if the poison is true, then it's going to do this exact same thing. Just take damage over time. How much damage do we want it to take? I'm going to do something where it takes 0.01, a very little amount of damage, but very quickly. 0.1 or something in terms of time. Don't know how that's going to look, but we'll see when we've got it set up. It needs to be set to true. Okay, so that's going to take damage over time. Let's have a look-see. So if we push play, go over here and get poisoned. Yeah, so see the damage is kind of like going down. So that's almost too fast. Imagine if you didn't have an antidote. It needs to be really slow in terms of gameplay. So what was it doing? Here we go, 0.01. timing wise is fine, but it needs to take a really little amount. 0.001. Is that too low? Let's have a look. So we got poisoned. Yeah, that's just going down real slow. Okay, so it gives you a chance to at least find an antidote before you die. Right, okay, so that's fine. That's the damage over time set up. What we want to do now is just do something that is going to, push a key. It's going to use an antidote and stop that from happening. So essentially, it's to set that boolean to false. So what do I want to do? I think I need to go back to my character. So we look over here, we've got our, when we use med, when we use ammo. So we need another one for use item antidote. And again, it's going to be a similar type of thing. So it's going to be a branch. Condition is, do we have more than 0 antidotes? So that needs to be, I do have 1 or more, basically, antidotes. That is going to set the number of antidotes to, sorry, no. Sorry, that's going to be not giving us health. That's going to be setting that boolean, set poison to, off, essentially. And then set the antidotes to minus of the current amount. So -1, obviously, it will take an antidote away. Yeah, so that should be all. It should just be like, it's going to set that to off, which means it won't take damage anymore. It should do. Let's try. So let's go over here. Come through here. I've been poisoned. I need something on my interface that tells me I'm poisoned. So we'll have a look at that in a second. And then I'm like, okay, I need to go and get the antidote. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to pick up the antidote. And when I push T, there we go. I've used an antidote. That's gone back down to none again. And I'm not dying anymore. So the antidote has healed me. Great, cool. So really I need to do one more thing. It's something on my HUD that says that I'm poisoned. Again, the design of my HUD is not brilliant. So I'm just kind of chucking things in. What could I do? I guess just use some text again. You could use anything for your HUD that's just going to show this. It could be an image or whatever. I'm just going to use text, which is going to say poison. Okay. Make it nice and big. Anchor it. What color should we do it? Yellow maybe. Get an outline on it. Just makes things easier to see. So with this, we really just want to set the visibility of that to on or off, depending on if we're poisoned or not. So what can we do? Alpha is going to be our, whether it's going to be visible. Unless there's something simpler than that. Just because you can't, well, you can create a binding to color and opacity, I guess. Really, we just want it to be visible or not visible. What I'll do, I'll work out the best method for this rather than you just waiting, and then I'll come back. Okay, so to be honest, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete that poison bit from the main HUD. And if you remember, I actually have a separate HUD for the bit that says press E to pick up, which appears and disappears depending on when it's needed. So I think the best thing to do is to just do it in the similar way. Um, so what I'm actually going to do is in my inventory bit, I'm going to create a new user interface, which is for poisoned. That'll do. And then we'll just create a kind of a new one here real quick with that text there. Put the text on kind of the side of the screen, I guess. Um, Again, just write poison. Do what I did before. Something like that. Anchor it over there. Okay, so it just says, oh, that's not spelled right. There we go. Okay, so now we just need something that's going to make that appear and disappear. So I'm going to go back to my collectible one. This one? No, not that one. So if you look at the antidote here, this is the script that makes it appear and disappear. So when we begin overlap, this will be. Should we put it in the level blueprint? I think that's a good idea. I'm going to open the level blueprint. So this is going to have an event tick. So it's always checking. And then it's going to need to cast to the first person character because that's where my poisoned boolean is held. Get player character. And then a condition. So branch. The condition is let's get poison. So if we're poisoned, oh, yeah, if that's true, then we can. I'm going to copy this. Save me redoing it again. This is the bit that says add or remove that widget. First person map. So that's here. Obviously, we want to change that to the poisoned one. So if that is true, add that to the screen, and then it should automatically, it's got enabling and disabling inputs as well, which we don't need. Don't need the input bit. And then it will remove it on the return value. So let's just have a look, see. So if I come over here to my poison area, there you go, I'm poisoned. The poison bit there shows up to tell me I'm poisoned. I can come over here, I can pick up the antidote, and I can push T, and it doesn't remove the poison bit. Okay, back to inventory again. Sorry, the map. Why is it not removing it? I guess if that's false, remove from parent. Let's just try that. Quickly run through this again. The poisoned, the antidote, push T. Still not getting rid of it. How can I do this? Okay, let me just have a look and I'll come back to you. Okay guys, that took far too long for me to work out. Nothing I seem to try worked, but I did find a solution. So what I've gone back to, and sorry to go back and forth with this, probably should have made sure it worked before I did it. But anyway, I've gone back to my original inventory widget, and I've added the word poison there as text. Okay, and what I've done is I've created that's gone a bit funny there, but I've created a binding, as we did before, to the color and opacity of that bit of text. Okay, I know I've already done it, but hopefully you should know how to do that from what we've done before. And then in the graph for that, what I've done is I've cast to the first person character, and I've done a branch to the poison boolean. So if it's true, it goes to this return node. And let me just create a return node so that I can show you what I did. You'll see return value there on yours. I need to right click that and click promote to local variable. Okay, what that'll do is it'll allow you to have this color thing here. So take that one. So on this one, so if it's true, it goes to this purple color and you can see it. If it's false, then you can click this and you can turn the alpha down to 0 and push OK, which means it'll be just transparent, basically, not removed, transparent. So when I push play now, I've still got the outline. I'm going to have to delete that outline. Sorry. Not going well today. Because otherwise I've got to do the same thing for the outline, which I'm not going to do. So get rid of that outline. Compile again. So I push play. You can't see the word poison there. Come over here. Get poisoned, and there it goes. It appears there, poison. I'm losing damage. Oh, sorry, I'm losing health. Come over here. Press E. I can pick up the antidote, and it shows that I have one in my inventory bar. And then when I push T, poison, the word is gone. I'm no longer poisoned, and all is well and good. So that's done. So hopefully, I know there was a bit of back and forth there. You may need to sort of, pause and make sure you go over things correctly to make sure yours worked, but the solution is all there at least. And yeah, hopefully we've all learned something from that. Yeah, so from what I've shown you there with those three options, so with the health and the ammo and the antidotes thing, if you want to apply that to any other kind of scenarios, that should apply to most things that you can do. And then if there's something particularly different you want to do, hopefully from what you've learned from this, you can implement by yourself. So yeah, that's all for now. And yeah, I hope that's helped.